Flodos, the end of stage 3. And just like that, Steel Castle Tournament 2 is over.
From the land of the rising sun, 100 determined Robloxians have accepted the challenge to conquer the Steel Castle. Divided into 4 extreme stages, competitors face the ultimate test of strength and will in the quest to become conqueror. Many are called, few are chosen. Now, let's find out who's tough enough to become the next conqueror of Steel Castle.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Steel Castle. It has been almost 2 years since we've sat down and had some time to really enjoy another Steel Castle tournament, and I am so excited to finally be back with another brand new tournament. Now, I know there's a lot of questions regarding what happened with Tournament 3, and I've answered all those questions, but I thought it would be best if we cover everything right now before we get into the main tournament. So I've gone ahead and made this really cool recap video. It's going to cover everything that has happened so far, the names that you've missed, everything from the first through the third tournament. So I want y'all to check this out really quick. Tournament 1 of Steel Castle saw 100 brave new souls take out a course that they'd never seen before. Of these 100 souls, only 10 were able to beat the first stage, with only 2 people being able to clear the course on stage 2, being Flodos and Conductive Arrow. The tournament came to a screeching halt on stage 3, with Flodos failing the very last obstacle and Conductive Arrow going out on the wing nuts. The second tournament saw many new obstacles, many new competitors, and a lot more success. All 10 clears from Tournament 1 returned in Tournament 2, with only a few of them being able to make it back through stage 1. At the end of the day, 5 new competitors were able to make it to stage 3. However, the cheese wall proved to be a devastating roadblock, ending the run of 4 of these 6 competitors. Still, Flodos was once again able to make a deep stage 3 run. However, he was not the best performance this tournament. That went to Coy, who was able to match Flodos' Tournament 1 performance by making it all the way to the quickest slider and also coming up just short. This brings us to Tournament 3. In Tournament 3, we saw the most success on Steel Castle we had ever seen to this point. While the Stage 1 clear rate dipped to only 13, a record-breaking 7 people completed the second stage, with competitors coming out the shadows like Lyrical Wonders, Jamie Dorino, and Nebula Deception with their first second stage clears, and Lodajit coming out of nowhere after failing stage 1 in the prior tournament, making it all the way to the final. And Drastical and Cloy were making their second stage 3 appearances, and both of them were successful in making the final as well. And who could forget Flodos, finally achieving his goal of making it to the final stage in Tournament 3. However, of these 4 competitors that made it to the final, only 3 of them will become a conqueror. Lodajit, and Drastical and Cloy were all able to manage the final tower within the time limit. However, Flodos made a costly mistake early on into his final stage run, ending his tournament once more. But his failure does not overshadow the fact that we now have 3 conquerors of the course. These 3 people have truly defined an era of this competition. Now with champions crowned, legacies born, and a brand new course awaiting, today marks the start of a new era. One where the climb to victory will not be as easy. It will be harder and more unforgiving. The path to glory will no longer be defined by promise alone, but by resilience, strength, and the will to rise above the Steel Castle itself. Let the next chapter begin. So yeah, it seems like a lot has definitely happened since the third tournament. With 3 Kanzens, the course has now been made 3 times as difficult, and it's going to show today, with 100 brand new competitors ready to take on the course. Upon those 100 competitors, we have a lot of new faces, regulars, returners, everything in between. We have 2 of the 3 grand champions, and unfortunately, Flodos, a very prominent competitor in the first era, will not be returning in this tournament.
As well as Cloy, who is also absent this tournament.
And with that out the way, here's some other people you should be looking out for as well. Sashi Case competed in each of the first 3 tournaments with no avail. Today he hopes to finally get that first stage cleared. Also competing today, we have Goward, aka Tom Gowie, the creator of Retro Wipeout. He wants to put on a big performance, and he hopes that today is finally the day he gets that shot. Conductive Arrow stepped away from R&W after Steel Castle Tournament 2. With today being his big return, we're curious to see how he's going to perform. Yas1234551 has also competed in every tournament so far, with his best performance being in the first tournament. However, he's had diminishing returns every performance after. Even though Yas has been a prominent competitor in the R&W community, he has not seemed to recreate that success here at Steel Castle. Today he hopes to finally get that breakthrough run and achieve that same success he had in the first tournament. Jamie Dorino shocked everybody by getting to Stage 3 in Tournament 3 after not completing the first stage in the first 2 tournaments. While her run from Tournament 3 hasn't exactly been seen before, her status as a R&W competitor has been solidified as a threat to win it all. And of course, our 2 grand champions competing in this tournament are Fladegit, aka Basepeak, good name dude, and the classic Andrastical, both of them achieving total victory in the previous tournament. Both of them only making their first appearance in Tournament 2. Both of these competitors are looking for their second Kanzen. But to do this, they will first have to get through the redesigned and completely brand new first stage. The brand new first stage has a 1 and 45 second time limit, a very long time limit. Lots of time for these competitors to get through the course, and they'll need it as it's 10 obstacles long. Starting off the course is Pyramid Pass, jump across the pyramids, get to the other side. After that is Mushroom Trip, shortly followed by the Triple Threat. Jump across the 3 spinning triangles and get to the other side. After that is the classic Block Step, redesigned once more. You must go to the right and back to the left to set yourself up for the next obstacle, the Jumping Spider. After that is the Rib Rage, shortly followed by the Crooked Wall. Following that is the Digestive Tract. After Digestive Tract, we have the Dragon Rider. Go down the Dipper, get to the Swing Surfer, and get to safety. If you have any time left remaining, you'll have the opportunity to attempt the Floating Mobile. On this obstacle, you have to jump across the platforms and get to the top. If you have any time left remaining, you'll be advancing to Stage 2. Now with the recap, the obstacles, the competitors all out of the way, I think there is nothing else for us to do but to start off Tournament 4. Let's get down to the course where the first competitor is about to begin. Well, here we go, guys. First runner on the brand new Steel Castle course is Barry Says, and I honestly have no clue who this person is, but he's here for a reason, so I'm sure he's gonna show out. Barry Says attacks the brand new first obstacle, the Pyramid Pass. He's jumping through. This obstacle is not inspired by actual pyramids, it just looks like some. Mushroom Trip. This is a fun one. The mushroom spins as you go down. You have to really time that dismount. Barry Says is so far making very easy effort of it. Triple Threat. Yes, this obstacle is from Wipeout. I thought it was pretty fitting. I think it's different. And Barry Says is so far making it look pretty easy. Barry Says this is also really easy, apparently. That's what he told me. Block Step. Classic obstacle. Back for its 4th tournament. First wrap, and he cannot get the second wrap, unfortunately, but a very strong showing from the first competitor of the tournament. Next up is Researcher Space Token. This is not his first appearance. He's been around for a little bit, and he's just getting another opportunity to run the course. Haven't seen him in a while, and I'm not exactly sure how he's done in the past, but I'm pretty sure he's done better than this before. Researcher Space Token, the first victim of Pyramid Pass. It's always tough to be one of the early runners and trying new things because no one knows the strategies yet. Just like Jinx 808 KD, he definitely does not know what to do. This guy probably is like, what am I doing right now in this game? And so Jinx is making way better work than Research did. Looking a lot like Barry Says from earlier. Jinx is going to chump out some Mushroom Trip. Going down the track, and he's going to dismount way too late. Completely missed the dismount. Jinxed himself on that one. Looks like the freaking Squid Game guy. Potato Man 1887. What a username. I wonder if this guy is from the year 1887. More than likely not, but he's about to get his chance on the course. Very safe approach so far, taking extra jumps on the pyramids. Potato Man is dressed like an alien, and I wonder if he's about to invade this course. We just saw Jinx go down here, and he's going to jump onto the dismount platform. That's a lot smarter, a lot safer. No one's really had much trouble with triple threat yet, as this is only the second attempt on this obstacle, but he took a no jump approach on the triangles and just kind of did not work out for him right there. Rex Space is here for his second appearance. He is one of the people, that competed in Tournament 3. Has never seen his run from that tournament, but he will be seeing his run from this one. So that is what is important. I believe he has his own competition. I think this is Seoul. I'm not 100% sure. It is Seoul. Yeah, okay. Pyramid Pass, very shaky, making the pyramids shake. Did not look very comfortable. He does not look very comfortable at all so far in this course, and he completely misses the dismount platform. I can't say I'm shocked with how shaky he was looking earlier on, but he did completely miss that. So, he seems like a good competitor. I feel like we'll be seeing him after this tournament anyways. So, next up is Wipeout Demon, Fanoya, or Dante. I believe this is Dante. And he's going to start his attack on the course. A lot more confident, but that confidence only led him to fail the first obstacle anyways. So, next up is his accomplice, Window Testings. That was a joke. I don't know if they have any relationship. Pyramid Pass so far being the most difficult obstacle, apparently. Let's see if another Wipeout person fails it. And yes, because the Wipeout people are really good at falling so far. I say this and I have Wipeout obstacles on my Ninja Warrior course, like, bruh. Our next competitor is regular Ninjago Hero 33. He's competed once before. Haven't really seen him do anything like ever, so can't really say much about him, but for his run so far, he looks a lot more confident than everybody else, so that's something that's going for him. Once again, a Tournament 3 competitor that did not get their run shown because of the circumstances of Tournament 3, so he's really getting to debut his performance, his technique, his strategies right here on Tournament 4, and he's taking a lot of rotations on triple threat, but it seems to be working out for him. I don't know if that was super safe or if he meant to do that or if that's a strategy, but it's all good. Block Step has not been beaten yet today, and he gets on the third podium, and he gets it. Ninjago Hero 33 is the first person to attempt the jumping spider ever, and he's going for there's one more. Yeah, there you go. There's one more peg out in front of him. Going very slowly through this obstacle, but he's still making progress. Ninjago Hero 33, one more jump, and he's the first to beat Jumping Spider as well. 40 seconds left, and he still has about half the course left. Ninjago Hero beats the Rib Rage as well. What a run from the regular, getting his first shot on the course. Crooked Wall, never before seen, and he completely just jumps off the obstacle. I mean, he didn't even get close. Let's take a look at that again. Completely missed the rope, undershot it. However, the nerves might have gotten to him. Great performance by Ninjago Hero. The course continues to be the most brutal version of Stage 1, as no one has even gotten past the Crooked Wall yet, and these next 5 competitors can't seem to get past Block Step or even the Mushroom Trip for some of them. Take a look at Lucas as he's able to beat it. Triple threat, but no avail on the Block Step. Girafalo 99 also fails the Block Step, and First King Marble just straight up fails the first obstacle.
Ashlyn Zach, he's a rookie. 15 seconds. Getting a lot of swing here on the net, and Ashlyn Zach going to Stage 2 for the first time. In his first ever performance, he is going to the second stage.
Here's a competitor that looks like they can handle the pressure of a first appearance. This is Ashlyn Zach, and in his first appearance on B&W Blue Ninja Warrior, he was able to beat the first stage. Let's see if he can have a similar performance here on his first appearance on Steel Castle. Yeah, once again, he was able to beat the first stage, and I don't think he did great on Stage 2, but beating the first stage in and of itself, is a very hard task, especially on that course, so he's going to be bringing all of those skills here to Steel Castle, where he's facing obstacles that are completely different than that course. And he's on a very rough spot on the triple threat. Can he get that triangle to turn? Yes, he can. Ashlyn Zach, Block Step. This one's been pretty iffy today. Only one clear on it. Ashlyn Zach is going to go to the right, to the left. And he's going to set himself up for the jumping spider. Easy. Right in there. Ashton Zach is going through the jumping spider. He's going to get on those pegs. And that's what's so hard about this obstacle. They're moving. It's not normal. Rib Rage. We just saw Ninjago Hero beat this. And Ashton Zach is going to come up just short. That rib went down a little bit too low. He just spent a little bit too much time on it, and it went out from underneath him. Great run by the rookie, though. Now, if you don't know who Evil DNax is, you're probably like 10 years old or 12. However, Evil DNax is an absolute classic in the Wipeout Roblox community. He's literally been around for 10 plus years. So Evil DNax has returned to Roblox to give another shot at the course. He's actually competed in the past, and his runs are lesser known, but Evil DNax is here with another run on the course. And he botches the mushroom trip. You know, this is a more Wipeout-esque obstacle. I thought he would have beaten it. And here he goes to greet his fans. King Q 1356 is up next. Another newcomer. Lots of newcomers this tournament. It's more about if they are willing to show out. You know, if the newcomers can't show out, then, you know, there's always next time. But King Q, looking strong so far. You can't really tell on the first few obstacles if they're going to be a strong competitor because they're more baseline. King Q, this is the first real test, and King Q makes short work of it. He's going to be coming up to the block step. This one's always tricky for new competitors because it's such a precision-based obstacle. King Q is down on the block step. Lots of block step fails, just like normal. Someone looking to beat it is Rainbow Friend 996, and actually, with a name like this, I have no clue what's about to happen. I don't know how to feel. You know, I'm just fine. He's very friendly on this first obstacle, spending a lot of time on it. Just very cautious approach, and that's very scary for your time limit. You know, there's such a long time limit. Every second counts. And so you want to make sure you save all that time for the end. And, you know, it seems like Rainbow Friend's not going to be getting anywhere close to there. Next up will be Gamer1222B. Regular. Not his first appearance. And so he's going to be looking to improve on his previous performances. Let's see what he can do. Gamer's been around for a little bit. Definitely seen him around in my other tournaments before, and so I enjoy seeing people come back multiple time and time again. So Gamer's looked more confident every time I've seen him as well, and so this might be the pinnacle, like his best performance yet. A little bit more cautious, and that gets him as the top of that triangle slaps him down into the water. Another unfortunate Gamer fail. Next up is Javalote 2024. Number 19. Let's see what he can do. On to Pyramid Pass. Another cautious approach, and that seems to be the best of him. Javalote 2024 down on Pyramid Pass. He already leaves the game. Well, this run's going to be really interesting. Kyle Cardova's competed in every single tournament, and every time, including Tournament 3, he's failed block step. Today he hopes to finally get his chance to beat it. Once again, that's 3 tournaments in a row. There's only been 3 tournaments, and not including this one. So let's see if today is finally the day Kyle Chambeg can finally beat the block step. But before he can get there, he has 3 pretty difficult obstacles in front of him. These 3 have probably taken more out than any other 3 obstacles have this far into a tournament. So Kyle Cardova is now into the triple threat, making pretty light work of it. Alright, here's the rematch we've all been waiting for. Kyle Cardova versus Block Step V4. 2. He gets the last one. Dismount. And he's done it. Kyle Cardova's finally beaten the Block Step, only to go down seconds later on the jumping spider. Oh, let's take a look at what went wrong. First of all, that Block Step clear as clean as can be. But he just rushed right into jumping spider and didn't get to see where he was really going. Lots of highs, but a lot of lows right there for Kyle. Let's see him get even further next time. Next up is Adam 081314. Gotta love that name. I don't even know what an Adam is. Maybe that's his name or something. I don't know. Pyramid pass, another very slow approach on this obstacle. It seems to work out better for most people, but it does not save you time later on in the course, and as you saw with Ninjago Hero, you definitely need all the time you can get. And Adam completely misses the dismount from Mushroom Trip, and his day is over, unfortunately. Firebird 8930 is our next competitor. I've never seen this person before, and so I'm curious how he will do. I've genuinely never seen this person before. Firebird is looking to put on a good showing so far, and he looks more confident than a lot of the other people that have ran so far, so that's always a plus. You can tell how confident someone is on how they approach that first obstacle. You know, are they looking to save time? Are they looking to go slow, be cautious? And he's putting caution to the wind. A very good strategy on Triple Threat as he comes into block step. We just saw Kyle beat this obstacle, and hopefully riding the highs of that, he will too. And Firebird beats it. Jumping Spider, we just saw Kyle fail this. Very smooth, looking clean, and he's gonna get through. For some reason, the in-game timer did not start, but we're just going to keep on trucking along as Firebird is making short work of Rib Rage, my fault. Alright, no one's gotten through Crooked Wall yet. Let's see if Firebird can be the first to do it. And for some reason, he's running the opposite direction and runs off the course. Genuinely, what was he thinking? I actually have no clue what is going through this guy's head right now. Can we get a replay, please? Thank you. Firebird just, I mean, there's no other explanation for it. He just ran off the course. And he does it again after the fail too. As the course continues to be as brutal as ever, more competitors fail and fail. This early stages of this course being even harder than most might expect. Looking to change that is Blaze Powder. Blaze has made appearances in every single tournament. In Tournament 2, we had a disappointingly early fail on Stage 1 after very strong mini performances. He's just never really lived up to that really good performance. He just hasn't had it yet, and so he's looking to have it right here. Blaze is a RNL competitor. I don't even know what team he's on. I just know he's on RNL. And he likes to play Fortnite. He's really good at that game, I think. I haven't really gotten the opportunity to speak to him recently, but I do know for a fact that he's looking for a vengeance on this course, as a lot of people are just soul searching right now, you know, just looking for that opportunity to improve upon a previous performance. He's coming in with a lot of time, just going for broke right now. It's by far the fastest pace we've seen up to this point, and he wants to try and be the first person to beat the Crooked Wall. Can he do it? We've just saw Firebird go down, and he's going to get the dismount. Yes, he is. Blaze Powder's the first person to attempt Digestive Tract and the Dragon Rider combo. Let's see if he can do it. Making his way through Digestive Tract. Can he get onto Dragon Rider? Yes. He gets the Swing Surfer. Can he make the dismount? No! He jumps way too late. We're going to need a replay on that one as well. It looks like he just jumped way too late, as that platform was swinging backwards by the time he tried to jump. And indeed it was. Blaze Powder down once again on Stage 1 for the 4th time in a row. Alright, next up is Gravitations. He's a pretty cool guy. Known him for a minute. And he does not compete in RNW competitions often, but when he does, he normally puts on a pretty decent showing. Hasn't had a really great performance in a competition in a few years. However, he did make it to Stage 2 in Yasuke. And the creator of Yasuke, Yas123451, will be competing later on this tournament. So let's see if Gravitations can do anything relevant. And I am not surprised that he failed that early at all. Let's kick it on back to Comet Wave. He's been around for a minute in this community. Made his first appearance back in Tournament 2 where he failed Block Step like many others. Failed Metal Spin in Tournament 3, and he is looking to just put on a stronger performance. You know, a lot of people that fail Block Step do eventually figure it out, and once they figure it out, it is like the chains break loose, you know. It's normally that one obstacle that people just need to get through. Today he hopes for that to be the case. Comet Wave is coming onto the triple threat. A little bit of a over tilt there, but he gets through. Comet Wave is a staff member for Retro Wipeout, if I am remembering correctly. He's been around for a minute as well. I think 2015, 2016, something like that, or as far as my knowledge goes. And I'm not the best source for that, so very decent pace so far. Not the fastest, but he's still making great time, and he's gonna rush right through the rest of the jumping spider. Onto Rib Rage. Not too many problems here today, but that can always change, but it's not going to change for Comet Wave as he's made it through. Comet Wave is going to be coming up to the crooked wall. We've seen 2 people go down here so far, but he's not going to. Hopefully he can get that dismount as well, and he gets it with ease. Comet Wave is now coming up to the combo Digestive Tract and Dragon Rider. We just saw Blaze Powder go down here, so hopefully that doesn't get into his head. He still has to make it for himself, you know. Gets a big swing, and he jumps at the perfect time right before it swings back, and he's going to be the first person to attempt the brand new floating mobile. Can he get through? Has about 15 seconds left, plenty of time to clear. Can he be the first clear of the new era of Steel Castle? Oh my goodness! He's having a shaky run. He almost failed right there. But Comet Wave is going to do it. Comet Wave is the first clear of Steel Castle 4, the first clear of this new era, and he will be advancing to stage 2. What a clean and smooth run from him until the end. Very shaky, but all that aside, he finally broke through. Just like I said earlier, sometimes people just need to figure out that one obstacle, and that's exactly what he did. Comet Wave will be on stage 2 later on. Unfortunately though, it looks like that's about where the success stops, as 10 more competitors take on the course, and with almost no success, it looks like we've fallen into a bit of a slump here. Yui XD, I don't know if that's how you say his name, failed the first obstacle. Totally Normal became the next victim of triple threat. Markstick Luke, returning for the first time since Tournament 1, goes down in pretty interesting fashion here on the first obstacle, dismounting to the side platform. Some of these names have me questioning my existence. I'm going to refrain from making a joke. Torin failed the mushroom obstacle. Subcash11 had a decent run until he failed the triple threat. Min Hong, I'm not saying all those numbers, I'm sorry, had a decent showing, failing the block step. And Captain Boy Heimheim, I don't know how to say that either, got one obstacle further, failing the jumping spider, becoming the next victim of that. And then Mr. Meow YTS had one of the most interesting runs I had ever seen. I had to fast forward it, because he literally took about 1 minute and 30 seconds to get through the first 3 obstacles. Then CK6719, previously known as CRK, failed extremely early once again. Well, getting back into normal runs here, next up we have Ferrari Racer 58. I'm pretty sure this guy likes cars, that's all I can assume. But you know what happens when you assume? I'm not going to say that actually. Ferrari Racer gets ready to run the course, and he's on a little bit more of a cautious approach. I thought he completely whiffed that jump, but alright, he's good. Mushroom Trip, this one's been a lot of fun to watch so far today. Can he make the dismount? No, he cannot. I actually did not expect him to miss that. He looked like he was right on, but he's gonna have to race his car somewhere else. Our next competitor is Classic Tom Gowie. Once again, he's the host of Retro Wipeout. This is only his second appearance on the course, but he's hoping to make a bigger splash, no pun intended, here today. Tom Gowie, classic Retro Wipeout guy. He's not really known for his Ninja Warrior performances, but he's known in my heart. He's a goat. Always. He's a helper for this competition. He's also helped me with some other projects that hopefully will see the light of day. I highly doubt they will, but Tom Gowie nonetheless has been making pretty short work of the course so far. Now his big thing is he really wants a first stage clear. He has expressed that many times before, but he's just never really seemed to have that opportunity. He's diving as deep as possible right now to get that coveted stage 1 clear. Hopefully he can join his fellow Wipeout Retro helper, Comet Wave. And for what it's worth, he's actually putting a really strong performance on right now. This course is no joke, and to get to this point, it's a pretty hard task. Tom Gowie is making a great performance so far, definitely improving upon his last visit. Now the crooked wall has been a bit of a stopper for most people in the back half, but we've been seeing more success on it recently, but he really struggled there. He lost all his momentum and he couldn't do anything to regain it. If we take a look here, you can see Comet Wave really use that momentum to get to the rope, but Tom Gowie stops himself completely at the top and stalled out and just completely misses the jump. You want to really be able to use that momentum. Tom Gowie's down on stage 1. Someone else that's looking for that coveted first stage clear, Blue Tides. This clear eluded him in Tournament 2 when he completely choked the last obstacle of the first stage. He was so close, but that time limit, it was just running down and he just tried to do anything he could to save it. So hopefully he can bounce back, get a clear here today, and you will see him on stage 2! No, Blue Tides misses the first obstacle. What was he trying to do there? I don't know, but he just looked like he jumped way too far back. And unfortunately, Blue Tides is out on the very first obstacle. He's a much more promising competitor than people realize. It's shocking to see him go out so early. Next up is Ninja Warrior guy from Instagram. I'm just playing. His name is Exlexios. He is a little bit more of a retired competitor as far as Roblox, but you know, he likes to pop on every now and then. He does IRL Ninja, I do remember that. And he's just a chill guy, you know. And he's already doing better than people that would actually train for this competition, which is by far one of the most impressive things. When people just come out and just do it for fun and do well. And so far, Exlexios making it look easy, but he second guessed himself there on that triangle. And unfortunately, his first run is over. Our next competitor up to the course is Vonio, aka a Thunderbird for those who are a little bit more well established. Let's just say that. Vonio did very well in all the mini competitions and is a prominent competitor on Robloxian Sasuke hosted by Jammy. We'll be seeing Jammy take on the course a little bit later on as well. Vonio makes short work of the first couple of obstacles and is now coming up to the triple threat. This one's been a sleeper. I feel like, oh, very risky jump, but he gets through. I mean, that obstacle is so 50-50. I mean, you either get it or you don't. I mean, that's how all obstacles work, but I feel like it's more clear-cut and precise on that one. Short work of block step, like he's done it before, but this is only his first appearance on Steel Castle. He's so well known over such a short period of time. He's just kind of returned and just become a powerhouse, very similar to Flodos, and Flodos had a very similar route, competing on Robloxian Sasuke first and performing well on that before appearing on Steel Castle for the first time. There's so many comparisons and similarities I can make to the two, but reality is Flodos isn't even here, and Vonio's here to make a statement for himself. He is his own person after all. Vonio's making short work of the digestive tract. Hopefully he can get to that bar, he can get down that dipper track, and with ease he does it. And he looks to be our second clear of the course. He only has one obstacle left. He's going to take the little bit safer route. Lots of time remaining, by the way. You know, Comet Wave only had a few seconds left on the clock. And Vonio will be the next competitor to clear the first stage with over 16 seconds left. Vonio makes short work, becoming the first newcomer to clear the course with absolute ease, making all the obstacles that people are struggling with look easy. Vonio becomes the first newcomer of the tournament to clear the course. We'll be seeing him run stage 2 a little bit later on in the broadcast. Well, with one success comes many failures. Agent Commando, another newcomer, fails early, as well as many others such as Wipeout Boy 10. Just could not seem to be able to figure out the triple threat and went down. Preston 24 also made his first appearance today, where he immediately failed the first obstacle. Master KKSM back for another attempt on the course and had a very odd fail. Very disappointing to see him fail like that. Next up is another competitor that's competed in every tournament, Boshi46, a grand champion of Blue Ninja Warrior, and one of the people that I actually have a run from Steel Castle 3 of, and this is his actual run, by the way. Yes, he has content in a competition before. Boshi46 is looking to have a strong performance here today. He hasn't had a strong R&W performance in probably years, but once again, accomplishing cons in a competition as big as B&W, even though it was years and years ago, is still crazy. And so see him come back after all these years and still try and put up another good performance is really cool. Boshi46 has struggled with obstacles like the block step in the past, so let's see if he can get through it today. And he's having some issues here with the triangles, but he gets through. Let's see if he can figure out the block step right here. This one's always a doozy for everybody. Next transition, and he jumps way too early. He did not have that jump from the start. He just did not wait long enough. He just should have waited a little bit longer and he might have had that jump. Next up is Galactic. Iconically, one of the only people to time out on the warped wall. Let's see what he can do here today. Ooh, a little bit of hesitation, and he's going to fail the first obstacle. Well, that sounds about right from someone who's timed out on the warped wall. Next up is my GOAT, Racing Baby 49. This is my winner pick right here. He has put in hard work and dedication. He's so prepared, and he's down on the first obstacle. K-Fly 100 is one of the competitors that cleared in Steel Castle 3. There's a lot to talk about here, but we're not going to get into it. K-Fly is obviously a force to be reckoned with in the R&W community. He's so strong. He's just very consistent, and so his clear in Tournament 3 just kind of went unknown. No one really knows about it, and so oh wow, look at that save. Big save right there on the triple threat, and he's coming right into the block step. Now he's beaten this obstacle before, but can he beat this new version? He's on to the next transition, and he misses it. K-Fly 100 is down on the first stage for his first time in his career. It seems like we're back into another slump here of runs. The course is starting to really get the better of the competitors, with a lot more fails earlier on, such as Poo Lover 12345 normally getting a little bit deeper into the course down early on the triple threat. Also, NES Ninja 5 down on the first obstacle, another shocker. House Party 5614 struggled a lot on the triple threat, overcame it, and went down immediately on the next obstacle. And then our next competitor, Me Is So Cool 12314 failed Mushroom Trip. Kerchime 186 went down on the first obstacle, and Blocky Yes Bubble No 2 went down on the triple threat, and he's been wanting to take on this course for a while, so I'm sure this was pretty disheartening for him. So it stands still, only 2 clears out of the about 60 people that have ran so far, and the next person looking to change that is Rich Squigs. He's competed before. I believe this is his second appearance, and today Rich Squigs is looking to get another, R&W comp clear under his belt. I think he's on mobile. I don't remember for sure. I don't know why I'm thinking that. He might not be a mobile person. Pretty consistent though. I know he's a very talented competitor overall. Trains with people like K-Fly, I believe, and Eels. And we'll be seeing Eels run a little bit later as well. There's K-Fly in the back watching. Rich Squig so far making short work of the course. I believe he failed the metal spin in Tournament 3. About 1 minute and 4 seconds left on the clock. Lots of time for a clear. He just needs to make sure to keep up this pace. It's always important to, you can kind of back off the pedal a little bit if you know that you have plenty of time left. And Rich Squigs looks like he knows that he has plenty of time left on the clock. Easy work on the crooked wall. 3 more obstacles left. Can he complete the digestive track? See the fire go off right there. Can he get to the bar? He gets to the bar. Can he transition onto the swing surfer? And no, he can't! He becomes the next victim of the Dragon Rider. Rich Squigs is down very deep into stage 1. Next up is veteran Free the Polar Bear. He last made it to stage 2 in Tournament 2. In that tournament, he put on a very strong stage 1 performance, making it look effortless. And so hopefully he could bring that same energy that he did in that tournament. he did have a very early stage 1 exit in tournament 3 that did lower his number for this tournament. So hopefully Free the Polar Bear can recapture that magic that he had back in tournament 2. And Free the Polar Bear is down on stage 1 in the exact same spot as Blue Tides. It's so weird to see people that have done so well in the past go down so early on an obstacle that should not be that hard for them. He just got a bad jump and unfortunately missed that pyramid. Free the Polar Bear is down on stage 1 for the second time in a row. Our next competitor is Vaxinu. This is a big RNL guy, and I believe this is his first appearance here on Steel Castle as well, so I'm curious to see how the RNL training transfers here to Steel Castle. You know, they're very different competitions. And so Vaxinu is onto the mushroom trip and completely misses the dismount. And that's shocking because I know Vaxinu is a very strong RNL player. So hopefully we see Vaxinu back soon. Now this next competitor has been hyped up for me. This is Businessman or Intominator. Hyped up by competitors, ex-competitors like Perfugi, who we will probably never see again. He's a big obby guy from what I've heard, and he's really looking to transfer those skills here to R&W. So the first big test is going to be the mushroom trip, and he jumps way too early. Way too early, and unfortunately, he's going to have to learn this lesson. You know, you got to really be patient on obstacles like that. Fortunately, Intominator is down. And our next competitor is Steve Harvey, or Adam Diger Games. I don't know if that's how you exactly say it. Adam Diger would have been number 1 in Steel Castle 3, so I think that's a really interesting fact there. He was the first run that I edited before that was all happened. Anyways, Steve Harvey making a strong second appearance here. I'm not sure if that's what he wore the last time, but I think overall, I think this outfit's hilarious. I love Steve Harvey. I love Family Feud. I'm a big Family Feud fan. And so I'm excited to see that Mr. Steve Harvey is doing very well in the course. But this is the big challenge right here. Block step. Can Steve do it? And he cannot. He does not get to that third pedestal. And unfortunately, survey says no. Looking to beat that obstacle is going to be Noah Rex Mia, another newcomer. Very awesome outfit this guy has on. I have no idea what he's wearing. It just looks like a default dude. He just finally got access to some money, bought one t-shirt. Noah's taking a very slow approach, and that bites him in the butt as he fails the first obstacle. As a reminder, we only have 2 first stage clears so far in Comet Wave and Volnio, but the 2 most important competitors, the 2 runs that we are looking forward to the most, are still at the end of the stage. We have Yas 123451, and we have both of our grand champions that have signed up for this tournament, and stage 2, where we'll see everybody that completes the first stage still to come. Looking to join those competitors is Frosty the Snowflake. Frosty's had some less than stellar performances in the past, but is more known for the iconic Rising Ninja Warrior competition. Frosty's looking to beat the 3rd obstacle today. That's the goal. That goal starts with the 2nd obstacle, Mushroom Trip. Frosty gets the dismount but jumps off the platform. I wonder what went wrong there, genuinely. That could have been so great. It really could have. Something I love to see is people that appear in every tournament, and Sashi K so far been very consistent in appearing. I almost see Sashi K nowhere else except for whenever I host these competitions, and so I love seeing that. And so Sashi K is looking to put on hopefully a better performance than previous tournaments. I know they haven't gotten past the 5th obstacle, being the half pipe attack on the previous era course, so we know that they struggle a little bit earlier in the course, in the stage, and so it's really about beating those earlier obstacles, and hopefully, kind of like Comet Wave, it'll help break through, you know, just be that little bit of pizzazz that you need to get through the stage. Sasha, formerly known as Brian the One, making easy work of this course so far. Jumping spider, light work, and through. That's technically a record. 5 obstacles down. Hopefully Sashi K can get a 6th right here. And, you know, big personal best for Sashi K. And with only a few obstacles remaining, a clear is definitely in Sashi K's sights. Lots of time only a few obstacles remaining, and gonna get crooked wall down as well. 3 obstacles left, 40 seconds just about on the clock. Quickly through the digestive tract. You can't set your sights on that buzzer too early. You need to make sure you're focused on what you're doing, and Sashike is very locked in right now. A beautiful dismount from the swing surfer, and only 1 obstacle left. Plenty of time, about 20 seconds left. As long as Sashike does not make a mistake, he will be set on stage 2. Gets to the top of the floating mobile, and Sashike is going to become the 3rd clear of the first stage. After countless fails on stage 1, Sashike finally breaks through and makes it to the 2nd stage. This is a huge moment for Sashike, and an even bigger moment for the people that feel like they can't do it. Sashike proving to them that it is possible. Hopefully Sashike can expound on that performance in the 2nd stage. A big clear from Sashike, and I know there's a lot more to come too. Stay tuned for stage 2 as well. Next up is Mr. Kazdi529. Kazdi is pretty irrelevant now, you know. Just freaking doesn't do anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing. Kazdi's the GOAT. Music guy. You've known him for a long time, and you know, just likes to pop in, you know, give his little attempt on the course. Not looking for too much here. And he's down. I'm sure he's still happy with that result, knowing him though. Taking back the number 69, we have DJ Dilly, making his 4th appearance here on the course. DJ Dilly hasn't really ever had a strong performance. His best performance being the half pipe attack in tournament 1. Let's see if DJ Dilly can make a better showing here today. Oh, and a big jump right there. He almost completely choked the first obstacle. But hopefully he doesn't get that adrenaline up too high, doesn't make any more mistakes. And scary drop right there as well for Mushroom Trip. DJ Dilly looking to make a... Whew, he's just going very risky. Such low jumps. I mean, he's just not look very safe right now. Just kind of throwing caution to the wind. I mean, that's all you can do. You know, all you can do is throw caution to the wind. DJ Dilly now kind of slowing down a little bit. Lots of time on the clock. Just kind of needs to stop and smell the roses for a second, man. He's just looking like he's about to fall every second. Frontward strategy here on the rib rage. Very scary, but it barely works out. Almost choked it completely. DJ Dilly onto the crooked wall. This was a challenge obstacle at the start, but now it seemed to take out less people. Gets the rope. Can he make the dismount? And he jumps way too early for that dismount. DJ Dilly becomes the next victim of the crooked wall. But this is one of his best performances on stage 1 ever. And so hopefully he can expound on that in the next tournament. Next up is Bookcase Brandon. He's also been very close to clearing stage 1, and I know that's a big goal for him. You know, he's been around for so long. It will be really cool to see someone that's been around for as long as him beat the first stage. He felt the tuning forks back in tournament 2, and today he shockingly goes out on the first obstacle, being Pyramid Pass. Brandon, I don't even think he knows how to really deal with this either. You know, that's shocking, especially for how long he's been training. Our next competitor is Logically Dino, another Wipeout person, and I don't know how Logically Dino ended up at 71 and all the other Wipeout people ended up so low, but that is not my problem, is it? My biggest problem right now is watching his run, and so far, he had a lot more confidence than all the other Wipeout people did on the first obstacle, until he gets to the second, where he immediately learns that this course is very hard. But, nonetheless, decent showing by him. What team this guy is a fan for, I don't know. But we do know he is a football fan, and he's football fan 0506. He's had no super strong performances in Steel Castle. However, I know he's had stronger performances in other competitions. And so hopefully, today he can add to his list of decent performances. He's taking a second, winding up that jump, and he gets it. He probably was questioning that giant gap, and he should have questioned that dismount instead. Completely botches it, but hopefully we see him back soon and he'll get a better performance there. Our next competitor is Pro Roblox Galaxy Gamer. Oh my gosh, why is your name so long? I mean, it's one of those names I just do not understand whatsoever. Like, why? Anyways, he's made short work of the first obstacle, so that's always great. Mushroom trip, staying right on that good side of that mushroom as it spins, and he's going to be coming up to triple threat. Pro Roblox Galaxy Gamer is going to not be a pro on Steel Castle. Unfortunately, he's down on the triple threat. Another competitor that we always see kind of just, pop in from time to time, we have Muffin Power 1234. The first result that comes to my head is her first tournament where she failed the third obstacle, but today Muffin Power is down on the first, sadly. Next up is John Has Flight, another newcomer here today, looking to hopefully break the streak of the first few obstacle fails. A more cautious approach on the first one. I feel like that's always, once again, I keep saying this, but the faster approaches on the first obstacle normally lead to the people that clear. I don't know why it took so long on that platform. Finally getting started on the mushroom trip. Coming over to triple threat. Once again, this obstacle's been, oh my gosh, what a save! John Has Flight playing with fire, quite literally. Holy cow, I have not seen a save like that before. And he's still on the obstacle. Most people are way past it. There have been people that have been through the block step and jumping spider at this point, so he's definitely going to have to make up a lot of time, but that save was incredible. Can he get the dismount? And he misses it, but I'll say that triple threat save was incredible. So someone gonna tell this guy it's the wrong show. This is not Newar, dude. I'm just playing. Everybody's a Newar fan. I feel like Newar is where it starts for a lot of people, and if he's a fan of Newar, so be it. Newar's great. Anyways, Newar fan is coming up to the second obstacle, mushroom trip. Locks onto the mushroom as it goes down the track. Gotta spot the dismount, and he gets it. Alright, triple threat. We just saw one of the craziest saves right here. Let's see if that will be topped. Going to the second one, to the third. Oh no! Misjudged that jump. Should have taken it, but tries to save himself on that second one instead. So, down on triple threat. Our next competitor is making his fourth appearance on the course. This is Hawksfan. Hawksfan has had very lukewarm performances on the first stage, with 2 block step fails and a half pipe attack fail back in Tournament 2. He's hopefully looking for a better performance here today. Once again, a lot of fourth appearance competitors here today. I love seeing people compete in every tournament. I think that's a really cool stat to have, and I actually really want to help reward those people in Tournament 5 if they come back as well. So stay tuned for more information on that. That'll be in the Discord. Anyways, Hawksfan down on to the triple threat now. He's never really failed before the first 3 obstacles, but it's normally the black step where his trouble normally begins. Very comfortable so far. This is where he's failed twice before the block step, tournaments 1 and 3. Hawksfan so far making easy work of it, and he's through. Jumping spider, always a tricky one. You can't ever count this obstacle out. But Hawksfan is making it look pretty easy thus far, and he's through it. Hawksfan is now going to be on to Rib Rage. Can he complete this obstacle? More than likely, but you never know. He looked very comfortable from the start on that one, and he's going to be coming over to the crooked wall. Once again, we just saw DJ come down on this obstacle. You can't ever really count this one out. I mean, he made easy work of it, but you never know. Digestive tract obstacle that has not really done much this tournament at all. Only throw people off for the next one being the Dragon Rider. Will this affect his run? No. Hawksfan really making the tide turn right here. He's now in clear range. He's going to take the middle path. We haven't seen anybody do this yet because he knows he's low on time. Hawksfan only has a few seconds left remaining, but he's going to hit that buzzer and become the 4th person to advance to the second stage. After 3 straight stage 1 fails, Hawksfan is finally able to break that curse and become the next person to advance to the second stage. Once again, another competitor with a bunch of lukewarm performances finally breaking the chains and being able to beat the first stage. Hawksfan 2016 will be on the second stage. And as we round out the competitors that will be running in the daytime, a lot more lukewarm performances start to roll in, with Count Byron having a disappointing exit on the block step, Lemon Boy AA also going out on the block step, and then we see J-Chid also with a shockingly early fail. I felt like he was normally a little bit better of a performer, but not today. Then we saw Kyler also go down pretty early here at the triple threat, and then Grandpa Devourer 4, it's an interesting name there, down on Mushroom Trip, the dismount, and then Goj 3RRA, I believe that's his name. Another iconic fail, just like Master KKSM, just walking off the obstacle. So the sun is set and the real players have come out to play, and the first of those being number 84, Yas123451. A little bit early than y'all are probably expecting to see him, but there's his reasons.
Next up is Yas12345.
Yas is an all-time competitor in R&W. Always a strong performer, always ready to give out a great performance. In Tournament 1 of Steel Castle, he placed tied for 3rd, making it all the way to the medal spin on stage 2, which was the last obstacle at the time. But after Tournament 1, his performances regressed as he failed the Captain's Cabin in Tournament 2 and then failed the stage 1 version of medal spin, being the 3rd obstacle in the previous tournament. He's had such strong performances in other competitions, he's really hoping to recapture that lightning here today on Steel Castle Tournament 4. Well, here we go. Hopefully the start of a redemption arc for Yas123451. Such a strong competitor, and I'm shocked he's not been in the rankings for a lot more of these tournaments. Once again, he had such a strong performance in that first tournament, and he's just not really lived up to it since. Yas is already on pace for a good time, you know, just chilling. He's always so smooth, you don't even realize he's going fast, because I feel like his motto is slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and that's something that a lot of R&W competitors should really live to. Yas so far making light work of the first 3 obstacles onto block step, so far doing better than he did in the previous tournament. Block step, he's never had an issue with this obstacle before. He's taken it on twice, but today he misses the mount onto the jumping spider. Yas is once again down early on stage 1. I just don't know what's been going on with him. Just another shocking exit by Yas. He's just failed in so many odd spots at this point. I'm not sure when we're going to get another good Yas performance. Norwegian started off his Steel Castle career just narrowly missing out on stage 2, and then finally was able to achieve it in the second tournament. He actually just missed out on it again in Tournament 3. But here he is today, hoping to get back to stage 2 for the first time since the second tournament. The first stage has never really been an issue for him. It's always more so about the time and how much nerves he has on that last obstacle. He's always kind of struggled with it. And so hopefully it's not an issue for him here today. You know, he has a clear under his belt, and hopefully he can get his second here. Norwegian is making light work of the triple threat, a very cautious approach, but it works out for him. Plenty of time left on the clock. He shouldn't have to worry about that till later. Norwegian is making short work of block step. He's never failed this obstacle before, and he mounts the jumping spider. And he's going very quickly, and unfortunately, that speed catches up to him as he has his earliest fail yet. Norwegian is down on the jumping spider. Hopefully he can get his second clear in that next tournament. Our next competitor is one of those just under the radar people that I'm sure you probably don't even remember clearing before. Kogi of Wisdom was one of the clears in Tournament 2, looking to expound on that performance, was not really able to live up to it in Tournament 3, but hopefully today, Kogi of Wisdom can really get back to what Kogi was doing back then. Kogi of Wisdom is onto the Mushroom Trip, down the track, early dismount. I think that's what Businessman was trying to do earlier. Kogi is coming up to the precision-based triple threat. It's only hard if you make it hard, and so far, triple threat's not been much of a threat for Kogi. Coming up to the block step, never failed this obstacle in the past, but today Kogi of Wisdom jumps right into that wall and is out on stage 1 again. This is Kogi's 3rd stage 1 fail now. Next up is classic competitor Fomalom. In Tournament 2, Fomalom iconically misclicked and dismounted the salmon ladder early and was disqualified from the competition, being one of 2 salmon ladder fails in that tournament. Famalam did not compete in tournament 3, probably due to embarrassment. I'm just playing. Famalam's the GOAT either way. Yeah, fun fact, Famalam has never touched the water because that was Famalam's only appearance on the course, and he was disqualified. So hopefully that dry streak can stay alive, not because of disqualification, but because he clears the first stage. Famalam, triple threat time. So far, hasn't been a big issue. Ooh, very awkward jump right there. And he's, oh my gosh, another big save by Famalam. Gets the dismount. That last triangle wasn't really spinning for him. Makes it very challenging. Block step. Not many veterans have made it through this obstacle. And this is about as far as the veterans have gotten tonight. Famalam is going to be the first one to beat it. Famalam now onto the rib rage. And an early fail on the rib rage by Famalam. Completely misjudged that jump onto the first rib. And Famalam is down on rib rage. A very shocking fail right there. Our next competitor is Endrico23. Endrico was another competitor really looking for that first stage clear and got it in tournament 3. Very similar to Norwegian, was really close in that first tournament, but just no cigar, and an early fail in tournament 2. In tournament 3, timed out on stage 2, right at the buzzer, like Lyrical Wonder style from tournament 2, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Lyrical Wonders, by the way, will be coming up very soon. Endrico23 has since become such a force in R&W competitions. Like, he's just grown so much since I've seen him pop up on the scene. So I'm really curious how this newfound experience for Endrico is going to really help him on the course. A big spin right there. Oh, he's in a horrible spot. Endrico's really going to have a hard time trying to get that triangle to turn, but he gets it to turn. Huge save by Endrico, but that wastes a lot of time. That might be the best save we've seen yet. Endrico now is in about a 10-second deficit for most people. Most people are at the rib rage at this point if they have a shot to clear. He's still on the jumping spider. He's going to have to really pick up the pace. We're going to have to see something we haven't seen yet by Endrico. Coming up to the rib rage, having a bit of a different approach to it, facing outwards. Endrico is now coming up to the crooked wall. 40 seconds left. Time is not looking great. If we're being completely honest, he's really going to have to do something special. He's going to have to take that middle section of that last obstacle if he gets there. But if he wants a chance at that, he's going to have to beat the 2 obstacles right here. He has the digestive tract first and then the dragon rider directly following. He's going to get onto the swing surfer. Alright, 15 seconds left. This is going to take a miracle to clear. The klaxon is going to sound. Very aggressive approach right here. Endrico23, if he wants to make it, he has to go now. Endrico slips down, but he's going to make it. Endrico's going to clear with 0.54 seconds left on the clock. Barely any time remaining. That is one of the closest clears we have ever seen in Steel Castle history. And hopefully that makes up for his near timeout in tournament 2. I mean, look at this triple threat save. For if he had spent another half second on this obstacle, he would have ran out of time completely. He was able to pick up the pace, and with whatever time he had left, he made sure he had just enough to make it to the end. A very well uncalculated run by Endrico, but it works out for him. We'll see him on stage 2 again. Another person we don't see too often anymore, but was able to get that cigar back in tournament 2, it's FreeMMO Direct. He's made the transition to Halo competitions where he's been just an absolute beast on them, making final stages. I mean, for someone who was an R&W, like classic competitor, and just making that kind of transition and making it so well, it's been really cool to watch. But FreeMMO, I guess he knows where home is because he's back here on the Steel Castle course for his 4th appearance. He's another one of those competitors. He either gets really deep into stage 1 or he gets that clear. However, he hasn't cleared since tournament 2. 2 deep stage 1 appearances besides tournament 2. FreeMMO Direct is looking for another clear here today. Block step, he's never had issues with this obstacle before, but jumping spiders brand new territory for him. Can he get through this one? He's taking a bit more of a cautious approach right here. It's definitely never seen a jumping spider like this, I'll tell you that. But with those halo mechanics, I'm sure it's hard transitioning between the two games. Free MMO Direct onto Rib Rage, and he's going to be very low, and unfortunately that bites him in the butt as it gets way too low on the ribs, and unfortunately his day here on Steel Castle's done. A shocking fail from Free MMO Direct, but we love seeing him out here, and hopefully we'll see him back for Tournament 5 as well. Our next competitor is Bluefill, and he's another one of those competitors I feel like people forget have done well before. In Tournament 2, he made it all the way to Stage 3, joining the ranks of Indrasticool, Yizan on first appearance Stage 3 attempts, and so he's a bit of a force to be reckoned with. However, he had quite the diminishing return in the previous tournament, only going out at Tuning Forks, so hopefully he can have a bit of a comeback here today. Bluefill, big jump onto the mushroom trip. He's never seen an obstacle like this before, I guarantee you. Nice dismount, makes it look easy. He's coming up to the triple threat. Once again, he's had trouble with balance obstacles in the past, so hopefully... Oh, a big spin right there. Makes the save. Through it. Block step, he's never had issues with this obstacle before, so hopefully it stays like that here today. Makes the first transition. Makes the second. Can he get the dismount? Yes, he does. He's into the chute. Jumping spider time. Once again. Oh, no! Bluefill's down on the jumping spider, and now he's beaten Spider Walk before, and it's a very similar obstacle, but I guess the moving mechanic on the pegs just was too much for him, and unfortunately becomes the next victim of the jumping spider. Hopefully we see him back next tournament. Turtwig is slowly becoming one of the best Steel Castle competitors right now. While his later stage performances aren't as great, with 2 first stage clears under his belt, he's looking for a third right here. Turtwig actually hasn't gone down on the first stage since the first tournament. That's a pretty impressive stat. You know, no first stage fails since Tournament 1, and that first tournament course was obviously a doozy. No one had seen it yet, so hopefully he can get his third stage 1 clear here today. Turtwig has also struggled with the earlier part of stage 2. He's never really had his luck there, so hopefully this is the tournament where he can kind of just turn that tide, you know, just get a little bit farther, maybe even break into stage 3. As right now there's not many people on stage 2 as it is, so it'll take a miracle to even see people on that course. Turtwig is making easy work so far of stage 1. Jumping spider, he's never seen anything like this obstacle before. Alright, he's through Rib Rage time. Once again, we've seen a lot of people struggle with this obstacle tonight, but it's not going to phase Turtwig. Get a little bit of a slip up right there at the end, but it doesn't bother him. Turtwig coming into the crooked wall, 50 seconds left just about. He's going to have plenty of time to clear. It's more so can he complete the obstacles. And the first of which, Digestive Tract, done absolutely nothing this tournament. Actually a horrible obstacle. But nonetheless, doesn't really phase Turtwig. Onto a more difficult one, being the Dragon Rider, also completes it. Floating Mobile, can he complete this obstacle? Ooh, very scary jump right there. Turtwig looking to become the next clear on stage 1, and Turtwig is going to do it with his third stage 1 clear in a row and the fastest time so far. This ties the record at most clears in a row, currently held by Flodos. Now it's held by the both of them. Turtwig just had a commanding run from start to finish. Had control of his run, and once again another strong stage 1 performance by Turtwig. Well, I'm excited to see if he can finally break through on the second stage. It looks like he's really wanted it more than anybody else at this point. Hopefully today's his day that he can get through stage 2 as well. We'll see that in a bit. Currently out on stage 1, we have Robotic Pie. Now in Tournament 3, he had a very disappointing fail, failing the metal spin, but before that, he had 2 stage 2 appearances in a row, so he's definitely earned his spot to be later in the run order. Robotic Pie is definitely trying to make a comeback here, you know, make sure everyone knows that he's still in it to win it, you know. Robotic Pie is coming up to the Rib Rage. People have been struggling with this obstacle tonight. It's a little bit laggy. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt him. Nice dismount, and he's going over to the crooked wall. This hasn't been an issue later on tonight, but this was an earlier issue in the day, so very laggy. Has the rope even swung yet? Okay, apparently he is on the digestive tract. Once again, this obstacle does absolutely nothing, and it's going to continue to do nothing as he gets through it. Robotic Pie onto the final obstacle. Wow, and about 15 seconds left. Robotic Pie is going to hopefully secure his third clear. While it won't be in a row, this will be a clear record, tying Turtwig and Flodos. And yes, Robotic Pie will be back on stage 2 for the first time since the second tournament. While we didn't get to see his whole run, he definitely looked like he had a commanding run from the point at which we joined him. Robotic Pie obviously has the potential to get far in the course. He just hasn't really had a great run yet, and today he looks like he's back with a vengeance, coming back from his metal spin fail in Tournament 2. Robotic Pie will be joining us on stage 2 with the 6 other competitors that cleared with him. Our next competitor hasn't competed since Tournament 2. This is Dipk Joe, a classic competitor who had a strong showing in the first tournament, getting all the way to the second stage, going out a little bit earlier than he would have liked, and did not have the greatest performance in the second tournament. So I believe that's what kept him from coming back at Tournament 3. You know, he's kind of reflecting on it. So he really wants to just, make up for it here today, have a better performance, and just get back to stage 2. Dipk Joe is such a consistent competitor. He made it to stage 3 of B&W, which is obviously a very difficult competition to make it to stage 3 in. So hopefully he can really live up to some of his other performances by making it back to stage 2 here today. Dipk Joe onto block step. He's never had an issue with this obstacle, and he's not going to have an issue with it today. He's onto the jumping spider. He hasn't seen a spider obstacle on our course here before, so it's a little bit of new territory for him, but slower approach, but it's going to work out for him. Rib Rage. We saw his buddy Fomalom go down here earlier. Hopefully it doesn't get him too. He has a much better approach, and he's through. Crooked Wall. Once again, this obstacle has become less of a threat as time has gone on. This was obviously a huge threat of an obstacle earlier in the day. Takes a more dynamic approach, stomping on it, but you've seen that not work out for other people, so that's always scary to see. Dipk Joe is coming on to digestive tract, and he's through it. Onto the swing surfer portion of this obstacle, and he's through with 25 seconds left. He has plenty of time to clear. He might be getting that stage 2 return. Only the floating mobile stands between him, and unfortunately, Dipk Joe goes down. He was facing a stage 2 return in the eyes, and unfortunately, it's not going to be happening today. I don't know what this decision was right here, but he just completely botched that jump, and unfortunately, his run ends very late on stage 1. Well, making a return here today is Conductive Arrow. We haven't seen him since Tournament 2, and quite frankly, he's disappeared off the map.
Next up is Conductive Arrow, Longshot Arrow 77. He is one of the most consistent competitors we have out there.
Inconsistent he is. Longshot, aka Conductive Arrow, hasn't failed stage 1 ever. He's made it to stage 3 in his first appearance and stage 2 in his second. He's only had good performances here on Steel Castle. Today marks his third appearance and his first since Tournament 2. In Tournament 2, once again, he went down a little bit earlier than he had anticipated at the Rubik's run, but no Rubik's Cubes here today. Conductive Arrow plans to make a big return here. This first stage looks a lot different than the last time he was on it. Let's see if this will affect his run at all. A completely new course, and while everybody's dealing with it, it's been so long since he's competed that I'm sure this is extremely foreign to him. I'm sure he's not one to normally fail the first stage. He's never failed the first stage in this competition, at least, and today Conductive is looking to get a third clear under his belt. It would be his third in a row, and a bad tilt, and unfortunately he won't be getting that clear because Conductive Arrows failed the triple threats. He had a horrible rotation on that triangle, and it just sent him right off of it. If you look right here, he gets it in his redemption, but unfortunately, that's the end of his run. Another competitor that made it to stage 3 in Tournament 2, right here we have Zycotic. He's normally with Cloy, but this tournament, Chloe did not join him. So once again, he did clear stage 2, which is a big deal. And I feel like, once again, he's a competitor that people just don't remember. Steel Castle 2 was a breakthrough tournament for a lot of people, like Chloe, like Zycotic. And Chloe later on went on to win the whole thing. And so hopefully Zycotic here can really follow in those footsteps. He's always a great competitor, fun to watch, and he puts on a great performance. And today looks nothing short of that. Cameraman, do your job. Jumping Spider, Zycotic is making look easy. Child's play. Onto Rib Rage. Zycotic hasn't really seen an obstacle like this before, I'm sure, but that doesn't really seem to be an issue for him as he gets right through it. Zycotic, once again, a stage 3 appearance under his belt. He knows he wants another here today, but to get there, he has to beat the first stage. That's the most important part of it. Zycotic is now coming up to the final 3 obstacles, starting with the digestive tract. Once again, as the tournaments progress, these obstacles become less of a threat. I know we just saw Dip fail the floating mobile, but he's the only person to fail that today. Dragon Rider, can he complete it? He's onto the swing surfer portion, and he does not get the dismount. A big shocker right there. Once again, so close to beating the first stage, comes up just short. Zycotic, once again down on stage 1, will not be getting another stage 3 appearance here today. Currently out on the first stage is Jamie Dorino. You know, we've mentioned her various times throughout the competition, known for her competition. Robloxy and Sasuke has competed in every tournament and has finally proved that she's a force to be reckoned with her stage 3 appearance in tournament 3, going out on Hammer Time along with Lyrical Wonders, who we'll be seeing directly after this run. Jamie looking for another first stage clear here today. For a mobile user, she is absolutely cracked. You don't really see mobile users doing so hot anymore, and with the introduction of mobile shift locked in this tournament, I can only expect her performances to go up. Jamie Dorino is coming up to the digestive tract. Another big performance right here. Regardless of how she does at this point, she's already put up a super strong performance. Once again, this obstacle does nothing to anybody, but she does appear to be struggling a little bit more than most people, but it doesn't seem to bother her. Jamie's gonna get through. 20 seconds left. Jamie's going to take the middle route. I love to see that, but unfortunately, it turns against her. Should have stuck to that safer route, but unfortunately, trying to go a little bit faster catches up to her. That middle route on the floating mobile takes out Jamie Dorino and her chances at another stage 3 appearance this tournament. Up next is a competitor that's improved on every appearance. It's Lyrical Wonders. In the first tournament, Lyrical went out on block step and then followed it up with a great performance, just timing out on stage 2. It was absolutely heartbreaking. One of the saddest fails we've ever seen. And in tournament 3, made it all the way to Hammer Time on stage 3, where he unfortunately met his fate. Hopefully today he can once again improve. He's improved every tournament, so if the trend continues, maybe we'll see him on the 4th stage. But to get there, you have to complete 10 obstacles on the first stage, the next of which being the mushroom trip. 1 down, 9 to go, make that 8. Lyrical Wonders, short work. You know, ever since that first tournament, it's like a switch flip. You know, hasn't struggled with much on stage 1. Doesn't really seem like he's struggling with anything at the moment. And Lyrical is just breezing right through. Just another run for him, you know. Making his transitions through the block step that took him out in tournament 1. That doesn't take him out today. Jumping Spider time. A little bit slower approach. Plenty of time left on the clock, but I know that he really won't let that time affect him. 55 seconds left just about. Rib Rage. And no! Lyrical Wonders is down on stage 1 for the first time since the first tournament. Just got a little bit too low. Didn't jump right there. And unfortunately, Rib Rage ends his 4th tournament. What a shocker. Another one of the big names from tournament 3 that we just never really got to witness. Shadow Miles XE, or Nebula Deception as people better know him as. With a disappointing exit in tournament 1 on stage 2, and an even more disappointing exit in tournament 2 on stage 1, he's really bounced back, and in tournament 3 was able to almost beat the 3rd stage. Unfortunately, was not able to do so. Placed 5th overall in tournament 3 though. Big number right there. White, he has the number 98. Shadow is looking to have another first stage clear. This would be his third clear today if he were able to make it. But just like everybody else, he has a lot of work to be done before he can even think about that buzzer. Starting off with Mushroom Trip, he gets through. Shadow's coming up to the triple threat. This was a big problem for Long, aka Conductive. And unfortunately, Shadow goes down here too. In almost the exact same fashion as Long as well. He just gets hung up completely on the first triangle and slides right off. And the 5th place competitor from Tournament 3 is out extremely early here. I know we'll see him back in the future, but it's always a shock to see that. And with 2 runners left to go, we have our first of our 2 grand champions making their return this tournament.
Here's another interesting run. Basebeak, aka Beam Kirby from the older RNW days, is making a return as of recently, as he joined the RNL, and then after that he pretty much just came back straight up.
Basebeak, aka Flautajit, is one of 3 conquerors of Steel Castle, easily one of the most notable RNW competitors of all time. Flautajit was able to bounce back from an early stage 1 fail and get all the way to the 4th stage and beat the entire thing. And with today only being his 3rd appearance on the course, he has a pretty clean record, as in his one other appearance he just failed really late in stage 1 and was probably set to do really well in that tournament as well. Let's see if he can back up that Kanze with another clear here today. There's just not a lot of people like Flautajit, man. He was easily able to prove himself in the previous tournament, and now he's really going to have a chance to prove himself here on Tournament 4. I feel like a really important competition for people at Win is always the one that directly follows. You know, will they be able to replicate that success? Will they even be able to get close to where they got to in the previous tournament? And so far, Flautajit's making a good case for himself. He's already beaten 2 obstacles with about 85 seconds left to go. We've seen a lot of people go down here tonight on triple threat, but no issue for him. Alright, block step. He's never had an issue with this one in the past. He has 2 attempts on this one in the past. Today's his 3rd try on it. And Flautajit's going to make light work of it. With about 70 seconds left, loads of time. He's got a great pace to clear. Flautajit is through the jumping spider now, coming onto Rib Rage. Now we've seen a few people go down here tonight as well. You know, this one was a sleeper during the actual day runs, but has come back to bite some of the veterans later on in the competition. Same thing with the Crooked Wall. No one's really gone out here tonight, but hopefully it doesn't take out Basebeak as well, and it does not. It's going to get that dismount, and with about 40 seconds left to go, this Conqueror might have another shot at the 2nd stage tonight as well. He has a perfect record on everything past stage 1, considering he's only made it past stage 1 once. But nonetheless, that is such an amazing stat, and it looks like he might be able to increase that stat to 2 clears here on the 1st stage today. And with over 15 seconds left, Basebeak is primed to clear the 1st stage again. Whips up that tower, and he's going to do it. Basebeak is back on the 2nd stage for the 2nd time in a row, backing up that Kanzen. And I mean, you know, what he's done is no easy task. He's now cleared the 1st stage twice, but he also cleared the 1st stage with the pressure of him being a conqueror in the previous tournament. Basebeak is going to be a huge threat in the 2nd stage. I can't wait to see what he does. Often referred to as one of the best to ever do it, next up is Andrastical. With countless titles under his belt, he was finally able to achieve the goal of Conqueror in the previous tournament. Andrastical has competed twice before, and today marks his 3rd appearance on the course. I mean, Andrastical has so many competitions under his belt at this point. There's just not many people that have been dominant for so long in this community, and Andrastical is just time and time again shown why he is literally one of the greatest of all time. The goal here is simple. Take each stage one at a time, and hopefully make his way back to the final stage so he can have another shot to win. A 2-time conqueror does not sound bad to him, and he wants to be the first one to do it. Here we go, the final runner of stage 1 on the 4th tournament of Steel Castle. I can't believe that we've gotten back here, and I don't think there's a better way to close this 1st stage with Andrastical. A clear right here will not only result in him joining Turtwig, Robotic Pie, and Floatos as the most clears on stage 1, but he'll also join Turtwig and Photos as most consecutive clears on stage 1. But for that to even come into fruition, he has a lot of work to be done, and Drastical should not be super worried about these early obstacles. I feel like the later obstacles in the course are the ones that really seem to be taking everybody out. And Drastical's never had any issues with balance obstacles in the past, and hopefully he can stay like that. And unfortunately, that's it! And Drastical has a minor slip up which leads to major consequences, leading to his first ever fail on stage 1. Got way too far out on that triangle and slipped right off. You have to stay right on the tops or else you're going to be in the water. And unfortunately, Andrastical has learned that lesson here today. Andrastical, however, does not give up, and I know for a fact that we'll see him try and defend that title in the future. "100 competitors started off today, and only 8 remain. These 8 competitors will all now have the opportunity to attempt Stage 2. This is also a record low for Steel Castle, as the previous record was set in the first tournament with only 10 people clearing. Once again, every course here this tournament is brand new. So let's go over the brand new Stage 2. Kicking things off is Step Swing. Simple obstacle, jump across the steps, grab the trapeze and get to safety, or you will immediately do the next obstacle, Hangman. Hangman's followed up by 3-ring circus. After 3-ring circus is Burn Rubber, followed by Spin Cycle. Swing through the 3 cycles and get to safety. After Spin Cycle is Tetherball, and after Tetherball is the final obstacle, Dreadlift. You must run across the conveyor belt while lifting the very heavy walls. If you can complete all of these obstacles within the time limit of 1 minute and 35 seconds, you will punch your ticket to the 3rd stage. Our 8 competitors are very eager to get on this course, and our first of those 8 competitors is standing at the starting line right now. And with an extremely long Stage 2 ahead of us, the first one that's going to get their hands on it is going to be Comet Wave, the first person to clear Stage 1 in this tournament, and the regular. Once again, he had never cleared Stage 1 before this tournament. There's a lot being asked of Comet Wave right now. He's not only the first person up, but he's the first person on a brand new version of Stage 2. There's a lot of brand new obstacles in front of him, and it's gonna come down to how he can handle this pressure. Comet Wave is about to get started on Stage 2. He's onto the step swing, and he makes short work of it, coming on to Hangman. He's gonna just get across these monkey rings, and he's through. Alright, 3-ring circus. This one's a pretty tricky obstacle, and it immediately takes effect on the course. That obstacle's no joke, and while his approach seemed fine, he just could not get that jump right. And unfortunately, Comet Wave's miracle day comes to an end on Stage 2. It won't be the last we'll see of this obstacle or him for sure. Next up is the newcomer Vonio, being the only newcomer to actually clear in this tournament. Had a great run on the first stage, having the 2nd fastest time, I believe, and he's looking to back that up here with another 2nd stage clear, so there's a lot in front of him. We just saw Comet Wave go down pretty early, so hopefully that doesn't bother him too much. Step swing shouldn't be too difficult. Hangman, filler, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing. Anyways, Vonio is coming onto where we just saw Comet Wave go down, and he gets the grab on the 2nd ring, is onto the 3rd ring, and gets the dismount. Alright, uncharted territory. Vonio is now taking on Burn Rubber. He's got to spin those 3 tires, get to each one. A little bit laggy, but doesn't seem to affect him that much, as he's now onto Spin Cycle. He's going to swing each cycle here. Gets the 2nd grab. Can he get the 3rd? He's taking a little bit of few extra swings, but he's good. Alright, Vonio's now up to Tetherball. Only 2 obstacles remaining. We could be seeing a very early Stage 2 clear here in the run order. We still have 6 people after him, swinging around that Tetherball like it's nobody's business. Vonio is going to get that dismount, and he gets it. Vonio has a shot to be the first newcomer on Stage 3 since the 2nd tournament. He's going to be lifting up all the walls. One minor slip up can lead to major consequences on this obstacle. This one takes a lot of focus and a lot of precision, as you have to get through the walls while focusing on that treadmill as well. But that's not going to be an issue, as Vonio is going to become the first person to beat the 2nd stage in the Revolution era. He's making a case for himself to be one of the greatest new competitors we have right now. He made that stage look so ridiculously easy. He made the obstacle that Comet Wave failed look like child's play, and just kind of breezed through the rest of the stage. But we should know how talented Vonio is. He's cleared in Robloxian Sasuke before. He's almost beaten the third stage in that competition as well, so we know that Vonio is capable of making it this far. We'll be seeing what he's really capable of on the third stage coming up very soon. Next up is a competitor that's been looking to get through the first stage since the very first tournament. This is Sasuke. Sasuke struggled with the first stage for a while, but was finally able to figure it out in what's deemed as the most difficult version of the first stage, which is pretty shocking. But you love to see that. That means that the competitor himself has gotten better. Sasuke's looking for another clear here. That would be a pretty big jump for Sasuke, going from the first stage to the third in one tournament. It's a lot of work to be done though to get there. Sasuke's making light work so far of everything. It's going on to burn rubber now. It's a tricky obstacle. We haven't seen any slip-ups on it yet, but we've only seen one attempt besides Sasuke, but nonetheless, it's still a tricky obstacle, and Sasuke's making light work of it. Coming on a spin cycle. This obstacle seems to be a non-factor thus far, but once again, just like the rest of the course, there's only been one attempt on everything past this point. So Sasuke is going to make light work of it, and is now going to be coming onto the tether ball. This obstacle is all about timing and your tether ball skills. Not actually. There's no tether ball skills required on this obstacle. It's all about that strength and timing, and Sasuke is making short work of this stage as well. We are going to be possibly seeing 2 clears in a row on the second stage. Sasuke's through one wall, 2 more to go, and 20 seconds left. If Sasuke can do this correctly, it'll make for 2 athletes on the third stage, which will be huge. Sasuke is going to do it. Sasuke becomes the second clear on the second stage with an almost identical run to Vonio. There's honestly nothing to complain about. He looked in control the entire time, made that same difficult jump that Comet Wave failed, and breezed through the rest of the course like it was nobody's business. Sasuke somewhat coming out the shadows this tournament, emerging as a big threat to win. I love to see things like this, and Sasuke's progressed so much in just one tournament than more people have over entire careers. Well, it's pretty hard to follow up a clear streak like that. We haven't seen anything like it since the second tournament. And looking to, follow those 2 performances as Hawksfan 2016. Very similar to Sasuke, a lot of trouble on stage 1, and was finally able to break through this tournament on the hardest version of stage 1, which I love to see it. That means, once again, the competitors are getting better, and the obstacles, they just probably have to go. We'll just have to make them even harder. Hawksfan, once again, one of those competitors that you always see. He always is around, and always is looking to put a strong performance on, and he finally gets that hard jump and then fails the easy jump right after. Hawksfan is down on the second stage. If you look here, he gets the hard jump on this obstacle. That's normally the one everybody's worried about, but then gets taken up by the jump that's a lot easier. Hawksfan, I'm curious as to how he's going to bounce back after this tournament. Our first of 3 veterans on the stage. Next up we have Andrico 23. Andrico had easily one of the most entertaining first stage runs almost in Steel Castle history, struggling a lot with the first half of the course and then just barely clutching it up. Hopefully he can back up that performance, with another clear here. Hopefully it's not as close. That was such a scary run for him. Andrico, easy work at the step swing, getting through these non-factor obstacles, which hopefully we don't see any more of those. Andrico, big obstacle right here. This has been the tricky one tonight. Not an issue for him. Coming on to burn rubber. No one's failed this obstacle yet either. No one's fallen past the 3-ring circus. He can't let that fact get to him though. He still has a lot of course left. There's a lot of nerves going, and this course is by no means a walk in the park. Just because he has a lot of time left doesn't mean that he can make a simple mistake. Look at that fling. Holy cow, he makes that obstacle look like child's play. I might stand corrected here. He is making this course look extremely easy. And so, Eels might be finally getting that coveted stage 3 trip right here. Going over to Dreadlift, he's definitely earning that 3rd stage trip, and only one obstacle stands between him and that 2nd stage buzzer to get there. Lifting up those walls, making easy work of it. That conveyor belt is just dragging him back, but he's fighting against it. Andrico 23, Eels lifting that final wall, and he's going to become the 3rd person to get to the 3rd stage. Andrico 23 getting that coveted stage 3 trip that he's always wanted. A big run by Andrico. No time issues here. He made the whole course look easy. Saved a lot of time in different places, like right here on the spin cycle with those flings. I mean, he made the course look so easy. Way easier than everybody else so far. And I'm curious how he's going to back it up on stage 3. Now we have 3 people on 3rd stage, and we still have 3 more runs left on stage 2. Our next competitor is one of few to have completed the 1st stage 3 times. This is Turtwig. Turtwig is known for beating the 1st stage here, but has often struggled with everything on the 2nd stage, going out on the salmon ladder in tournament 2 and going out on the spring forward, being the only failure on spring forward in tournament 3. Turtwig is looking to put on a better performance. This would be a PR if he's able to beat this obstacle right here, and he's going to do it. You know, he struggles with the earlier obstacles on stage 2, so hopefully the back half isn't really an issue for him. Turtwig gets a big jump, one more jump left. Can he get it? And no! Turtwig's down on the 2nd stage for the 3rd time in a row, and he seems pretty upset about it. Can we get a replay, please? Thank you. Yeah, I just completely botched that jump, and once again, Turtwig is a victim of the 2nd stage. Our next competitor is Robotic Pie, another competitor here for his 3rd time, but just like Turtwig, he's never really had any success on it. Getting deeper into it on the 1st tournament, but in tournament 2, regressed, failing only the 3rd obstacle on the 2nd stage. After a disappointing fail in tournament 3, he's looking to really bounce back here. You know, this is his 3rd appearance on the 2nd stage. He's hoping that 3rd time is the charm. Robotic Pie, a little laggy out the gate, but onto step swing, and he's going to go for the dismounts, and he botches the dismount on step swing. Robotic Pie is once again down on stage 2. I mean, he just had a horrible jump. Completely misses the platform, and Robotic Pie's tournament is over. Our final competitor on stage 2 is someone that is very familiar with this course, Flotagit, our lone standing conqueror. He's looking to put up another good performance here, looking for that 2nd title. Now, he should be excited because he's had 2-time championships in other competitions, so hopefully he can recreate that success from other competitions right here on Steel Castle. But in order to do that, stage 2 awaits. Basebeak, Flotagit, the final runner here. We just saw Robotic Pie go down a little early, and he's not running. There he goes. Now his time starts, and Flotagit is on the course. Step swing, no issue for him. Hangman, this might be a little tricky. This one's always a good nerve tester. It's always good to see where our competitors are standing early on this course. Tricky obstacle right here, Circus, and he gets through. Burn Rubber, we saw Turtwig go down here a little while ago. Will this be an issue for him? He's on the 1st Burn Rubber, 2nd, and he misses it completely. Flotagit, the Conqueror, is down on the 2nd stage. Now, Flotagit's actually struggled with balance obstacles in the past. Once again, in Tournament 2, he failed a very similar obstacle, being the tuning forks. And so it's shocking to see him go down on such a similar obstacle here today. It seems like his weakness is really those balance obstacles. Flotagit down on stage 2. We started off the day with 100 competitors, and now there are only 3. Vonio, Sashi K, and Andrico 23. All 3 of these competitors flew quite under the radar, but now they are the 3 left remaining in the competition. These 3 competitors will have their work cut out for them with the most difficult variation of stage 3 we have had yet. If they want a shot at the final stage, they will have to beat 7 of the most difficult obstacles that Steel Castle has to offer. The first of which being the jumping rings. Jump across the 5 rings and get to the platform where you will begin the next obstacle, the pin drop flying bar. You must kick the 2 platforms right underneath you down to get the flying bar cradles to come up so you can place the bar down. Following that is the classic cliffhanger, going back to its original state. Next up is a twist on the classic cheese wall. This is the cheese boards. Following the cheese boards, we have the dungeon. After the dungeon is spider swing, and our final obstacle on stage 3 is the falling shelves. There is no time limit on this course. All you have to do is finish, and if you can finish, you will get your shot to be the 5th person to attempt the Steel Castle. Our first competitor, Volneo, is waiting at the starting line, ready to get a shot at the course. Only 3 challengers are left standing, and of those 3, the first person to attempt the 3rd stage is going to be Volneo. Volneo has had a great day so far, becoming the only newcomer on the 3rd stage. He was the only newcomer on the 2nd stage. One of the best newcomer performances we've seen since Tournament 2. He's made quite the statement here today, and he's only looking to push that envelope a little bit further here on the 3rd stage. He's already getting started. First of 7 very difficult obstacles. We have the jumping rings right here. Volneo's going to get those rings swinging. Get to each one. He's having a little bit of a struggle here. Nonetheless, he still looks pretty comfortable. Once again, he's had such a dominant performance so far that, you know, his minor mistakes don't look very big. And unfortunately, that's his only mistake of the day, and it leads to his untimely failure on stage 3. Volneo down on the very first obstacle of the 3rd stage. He just did not get a very good swing on this obstacle. Completely misses that 4th ring, and Volneo's fairy tale day comes to a very shocking end on the 3rd stage.
I feel really proud of getting past the 1st and 2nd stage, but I kind of just wanted to get to the 3rd stage and just run it, since I didn't want to like stress out, so I just went for it, and sadly I failed, but I'm proud of my achievement. I can't be that mad because like getting past the first 2 stages is very difficult, but I just feel like I could have done a lot better, but I kind of like rushed into it, so but it's okay. Like, I did my best. Next tournament, I am going to get to stage 4 and beat the tower. Like, I will not fail again. So I'm gonna put extra practice in, and I will clear. Trust me.
Bold words. Well, exciting rookie campaign from you, and we'll be seeing you very soon.
Thank you.
Our next competitor has been looking for this opportunity since the very first tournament. This is Sashike. Sashike has had his breakout run this tournament, making it all the way to the 3rd stage right here. But before today, once again, he was never able to get through the 1st stage. With Volneo going out on the very first obstacle and him seeing that, I'm very curious how that's going to affect his approach on all these obstacles. Already out the gate, just way more aggressive than him, just swinging and jumping through, and Sashike's right through the jumping rings. Sashike is in 1st place right now, but that can change on a dime, as he is on pin drop right now, and he gets the first transition. Once again, these flying bar cradles turn, and you have to time it to where you can land that bar on them, and he gets through. Sashike will be the first person to attempt the cliffhanger of this new era. Making short work of it so far. No one's ever failed the cliffhanger before on Steel Castle. But unfortunately, Sashike is down on the cliffhanger. And while it's an impressive performance, it's quite early on stage 3. Sashike did not get a good jump on that ledge, and unfortunately, Sashike's journey comes to an end on the cliffhanger. Can't imagine he's taking this one very well right now. Well, this leaves us with one more competitor this tournament. This is Andrico 23. With such an interesting start to his day, on the first stage, clearing with only half a second left, he bounced back with a very comfortable clear on the second. Eels is looking for his first ever stage 3 buzzer here on Steel Castle, but he has 7 obstacles in front of him if he wants to make that possible, and not to mention, this is only his first time on the 3rd stage. Eels is the last man standing. This is the lowest last man standing number that we've ever had on Steel Castle, by the way. He can only push this envelope further by getting deep into this course. Just like Sashike makes light work of the first obstacle, now he's on the pin drop. These flying bar cradles come up at you, and he gets the first transition. Next one. Nice. He has a little bar turn technique. I like that. Found a bit of a beta break there. We just saw Sashike go down on the cliffhanger. Hopefully that doesn't affect him too much here. This obstacle is very nerve-wracking, and Eels is going to go ahead and get started. This transition right here is a little tricky, and unfortunately, Eels is down on the 3rd stage, and the 4th tournament of Steel Castle comes to a shocking close. Eels didn't look very comfortable in that jump, and unfortunately was not able to get that grab, and that led to his untimely demise here on the 3rd stage.
I am here to stay. I'm a solid competitor, and I'm excited for what's to come to show that I can still play at a good level. You put more time into stuff like this, and you get better over time. So with those previous tournaments, you learn from the mistakes you make, and you can get further along because now you know how to properly do things, and I'd love to get top 5 again. That would be really nice, and hopefully I can get past the cliffhanger this time. That would be probably my goal. I love Steel Castle.
100 tried and all 100 came up short in the end. This marks the end of the 4th tournament of Steel Castle, but the beginning of a new era, a new generation of competitors. We saw some highs and lows for competitors, so many amazing moments and so many bitter failures. These stories, these narratives will continue to be written in the next tournament. And for more information on that, always be sure to check the description for the Discord link. Another amazing Steel Castle tournament in the books. Brand new first place competitor. I feel like this tournament was definitely supposed to happen a long time ago. I wish that I was a little bit more locked in, but I realistically do not think that this competition will go on much longer after tournament 5, and that's just being realistic. Life is really starting to catch up, and as fun as this is, I will probably have to start putting my focus in other places. But, in the summertime, it's cool. I'm going to be on my computer anyway, so it makes more sense for me. So, I had a lot of fun recording this tournament. I actually recorded this back in March when I actually had the flu. I was really sick when I recorded this, or a lot of the runs at least, and so I recorded it in a time where I was already just inside all day for like a week or 2. For updates for Tournament 5, it should be happening within the next month or 2. I really want to get it out the way so I can have all the footage and just kind of edit it over a longer period of time. So come maybe next spring, I can maybe attempt to get another tournament out, maybe 2 within the next year or so. So it's been a pleasure. It's been fun, and I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast, guys, and I'll see y'all another time.